In today's video, we are going to talk about the green flags that trauma survivors often miss when they try to navigate relationships. If this is something that interests you, then please stay tuned to find out more. Now, unlike red flags, green flags are positive things. And when somebody has had childhood trauma, it may be really difficult for them to notice the green flags or to feel comfortable with them. So they are overlooked. And this isn't because they don't want a healthy relationship, but because their nervous system may have learned to pay much more attention to danger rather than safety. And the key is to teach the trauma survivor how to get used to safety. And this video will help you, if you are a trauma survivor, understand this a little bit better. Now, if you have specifically experienced narcissistic abuse, emotional neglect, inconsistent parenting, some sort of betrayal, or any other relational trauma, you will have become incredibly good at spotting red flags. You will notice the change in someone's tone. You will notice when someone withdraws from you. You will notice when someone's upset or when someone's irritated. You will notice generally when things feel off. You will also be really skilled at anticipating another person's needs or another person's moods way before anybody else. But what about the green flags? You are not accustomed to looking or to accepting green flags. So actually you don't really recognize safety when it is there, or it feels really uncomfortable. So I'm going to go through a list of certain green flags that you may miss as a trauma survivor of a dysfunctional family home. And the first one is when somebody is consistent in a relationship. And consistency is surprisingly unfamiliar when you have not had this growing up. So a healthy person generally behaves in a reasonably predictable way. They don't shower you with affection one day and then disappear the next. They don't make you feel adored one minute but then punish you the next by withdrawing. Their words and actions actually tend to match. And generally, when you've grown up with inconsistent parenting, consistency can feel very, very strange to start off with. And it may even make you interpret the relationship as having a lack of chemistry, because you are used to relationships where you are constantly having to figure out, where do I stand? Are they okay with me? Have I done something wrong? Or what version of this person am I going to get today? And when someone is simply steady, your nervous system does not recognize this as exciting. It may recognize this as boring, but boring isn't necessarily bad. Boring is actually safe. The second green flag is when somebody doesn't make you earn their affection. This person doesn't make you work for the most basic emotional security that is required in a relationship. You don't have to perform for this person. You don't have to be endlessly accommodating. You don't have to prove to them that you're worthy of love. You don't have to anticipate their needs perfectly. You can simply be yourself. And for trauma survivors, this can be incredibly uncomfortable because you learned early in life that love was conditional. So you may unconsciously believe, if I am useful enough, if I am kind enough, if I'm attractive enough, if I'm successful enough or understanding enough, then maybe they will love me. But what is the catch? Well, there may be no catch. They may just simply like you. They may just simply care for you. And that is enough. But you are not used to having this. The third green flag is somebody who respects you when you say no. A healthy person does not need you to agree with them all the time. They can hear things such as no, or such as I don't want to, or this doesn't work for me, and they don't retaliate. They don't sulk. They don't punish you. They don't threaten to leave. They don't make you feel guilty for having a boundary, and they don't withdraw their affection. They may be disappointed, which is normal for most healthy people because healthy people also have feelings, but they will tolerate your boundary and they won't make you feel bad about it. So you may think, well, why aren't they angry with me? Or why are they not making me feel guilty? And this may be something that you're not comfortable with. And what may happen is that you will actually create an argument, or you will create a problem, or you will sabotage the relationship because you are not used to things being easy. You're not used to things feeling safe. Now, the fourth green flag is somebody who can actually handle your feelings. They don't require you to be happy all the time. You can be sad, you can be angry, you can disagree with them, you can have a difficult day, and they don't immediately make your emotions about them. They don't say, why are you doing this to me? Or you've ruined the whole evening. They don't say you're too sensitive. Or they don't say that you make everything difficult. Instead, they'll notice that you're upset or angry and they'll say, hey, do you want to talk about it? Or is there anything I can do? I can see that you're feeling a bit down. And for someone who's learned that other people's emotional states were their responsibility, this can feel profoundly different. You don't have to regulate the other person because you're actually allowed to have your own feelings. This is quite something when you've never had this. The fifth green flag is someone who apologizes without making you comfort them. So a genuine apology is a beautiful green flag. Not, I'm sorry you feel that way, not, well, you made me do it. A real apology sounds like the following. I'm so sorry I spoke to you in that way. I should never have done that. Or, I really understand why that hurt you and I'm sorry. Or, I will really try to handle things differently next time. And the important thing here is that they don't make you feel responsible for making them feel better about their mistake. You don't have to say it's okay. You don't have to rush to reassure them. You don't have to say, I'm sorry too. You are allowed to actually receive their apology and that is it. How wonderful would that actually be? Another green flag is somebody who is interested in repairing conflict. So it's important to understand that healthy relationships are not completely conflict-free. Healthy relationships do have conflict, but the difference is that the other person is willing to repair. So it may be that people misunderstand each other in a relationship. They may get irritated with each other. They will make some mistakes. They will say hurtful things in the heat of a moment, but there is repair. So a green flag in this case isn't that they never argue. A green flag is that they can come back from an argument and they can talk about it and they can resolve it. The healthiest thing in this kind of relationship is when someone comes back and says, let's talk about what happened. I really want to understand your perspective, or how can we handle this better next time? This is what emotional maturity looks like. And unfortunately, trauma can sometimes teach us that when there is conflict in a relationship, this actually means abandonment. So we may either avoid conflict altogether and become quite people-pleasing in our relationships, or we will become really hyper-vigilant during the relationship. But healthy relationships teach us something different, that conflict does not necessarily mean that the relationship is ending. And this is something that I think you should really hold on to, because it's really important for those of you who have had abandonment trauma. Another green flag is somebody who doesn't need to control you. A healthy partner does not need to know where you are every second of the day. They don't need access to your phone. They don't go into your phone without asking you. They don't dictate who you're with or where you can go. They don't punish you or isolate you for having other friendships, even if these friendships are with men as well as women. They don't make you feel like your independence is a threat. And they can love you while allowing you to remain a separate person. And this can be especially important for people who grew up with very controlling or enmeshed parents. Healthy closeness isn't the same thing as completely losing yourself. So you can be deeply connected to someone and love them, but be a separate individual. This is what healthy love looks like. Another amazing green flag is when someone is genuinely happy with your success. And this can be difficult to recognize because, again, it may feel suspicious to you. So if you have found a healthy partner, this partner will celebrate your achievements with you. They will support your goals. They will not turn any of your successes into a competition. They will not subtly undermine you. They will not make sarcastic comments when something good happens. And they do not need you to fail in order to feel secure. And if you were somebody who grew up around jealousy, competition, or criticism, or envy from a parent, genuine encouragement from a partner will feel very, very unfamiliar at first. Other green flags are somebody who allows you to be imperfect. You are allowed to make mistakes. You can change your mind. You can have an awkward day. You can be tired. You can forget something, and it's not the end of the world. A healthy person doesn't require you to perform flawlessly. They allow you to be a person, a human who makes mistakes. Another green flag is somebody who will help you feel more like yourself, so you can be authentically yourself with that person. In unhealthy relationships, usually you will notice yourself feel smaller, feel quieter. You will notice yourself be more anxious or more hypervigilant, maybe more apologetic. You will notice yourself over-explaining. But with a healthy partner, you will notice that you're becoming a bit more playful or a bit more spontaneous in the relationship. And healthy relationships do not require you to abandon yourself. They create enough safety for more of your authentic self to emerge. And the problem is, many people that have had dysfunctional backgrounds, they give up when they meet someone if they feel that there's none of this intense chemistry, this intense passion. Sometimes our nervous systems think that chemistry equals familiarity. If the familiar that we grew up with was unhealthy, well, no, that isn't chemistry. If chaos was familiar, calm will be really uncomfortable. But it doesn't mean that every calm relationship is healthy, of course, but it does mean that it's worth asking yourself, am I genuinely bored, or am I simply not used to peace? There is actually a difference. You don't have to constantly figure out where you stand. I think in many ways you will know. You will notice that you're listened to. You will notice that your boundaries matter with this person. You will notice that your feelings are allowed, that you're respected, that your mistakes are tolerated and then repaired. You will notice in moments of disagreement that actually you're not abandoned, and you can be with yourself without constantly wondering whether being yourself is actually going to cost you the relationship. So if you've spent years looking for red flags, I want to invite you to start practicing something different. Stop noticing the red flags and start deliberately noticing the green flags too. Ask yourself, what does safety look like here? What does consistency look like? How does this person respond when I say no? Can we repair after conflict? Do I feel more like myself around them? Because healing isn't only about learning to recognize what hurts us, it's also about learning to recognize what doesn't. And sometimes the most important part of healing is allowing ourselves to believe this feels different because it actually is different. Not everything unfamiliar is dangerous, but sometimes unfamiliar can simply be healthy. Have a think about that. I think it will be a good thing for you moving forward. If you found this video topic useful today, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for your attention today. And don't forget, I do have an online support group for adult children of narcissistic parents. And I also offer one-to-one coaching for anybody at all out there who is struggling with an unhealthy relationship. Thank you so much. Take care. And I will see you in my next video.